Yes, so welcome everyone for today's grant writing session. And before starting, let's get over some Zoom etiquettes. You can change your name to the ones you have registered with the Eventbrite. Turn on your cameras so we can have a meeting face to face. We don't want to see, we will be happy to see you. Raise your hands, be respectful, and use the chat box. Do not hesitate to ask a question. There is not such thing like a bad or a good questions. Questions are always welcome, and you can mute your mic, and when you want to speak, then you can unmute at that time, or you can raise your hand, so we'll just answer to your questions. Moving forward. Mhm. So I would like to acknowledge the first people and the traditional land where we are. So we will just take a minute to take a look at the screen, and you can just go through them for a minute. A little bit about Empowered Forex. So we support all entrepreneurs by providing co-working and business services, membership, as well as training and consulting. We can help you with the business planning, operations, financial projections, bookkeeping, grant writing, and marketing strategies. We have various offering depends on where you are in your journey, and from identification to scaling up in your journey, and uh, to support you with your entrepreneurial journey. Mm, about Empower Forex. So we do have a training programs that can help you level up your businesses. We have a social enterprise challenge, social enterprise certification program, mental health standard certification, and supporting youth certification, and Grant Hunter University. About Empower X. So we do have virtual offices which can help you in your businesses. So it's Brampton, Scarborough, and Ottawa right now, and we are working with the Crane and Ajax in the future. And consulting services, we do have marketing, grant writing, technology management, business planning, and we do a BizGram promotional live shows. So you can register for that through our website. For upcoming events, you can use the barcode, and even we do have a grant writing info sessions and working groups every once a month. And we do have an modified series which can help in sales, marketing, growth, and strategies. We do have networking jelly social event, and we are also having an upcoming the nonprofit like social build your social enterprise challenge coming up on 19th of October info session. So you can register for the info session to get more information about it. And we do have an grant writing service. So grant writing service helps like entrepreneurs and nonprofit organization. We specialize in helping organization for the grants, the available grants, and the research where they can focus and they can focus on fundings and become an extension of executives, CEOs, and directors team. Uh, Grant writing service. So what we do is like we do a free sessions, grant hunter youth, funding summaries, blueprints. We review paid sessions and writing groups, and and grant writer. We do it for you guys. And today's agenda is to meet the facilitator, overview the grants, and how we can help you the best in your grant, in the available grant process. So today's facilitator is Ryan Knight, a serial social entrepreneur, Telling Knights, Service Kingdom, Executive Power of Black Panther's Cage. These are his these are his businesses, and and the co-founder of Afro Caribbean Business. And we are happy to say, like, he's an E4X crew member, and currently helping big businesses to increase the capacity and create an asset to grow generational wealth for them. And yes, Ryan, you can take over from here. Ryan, if you're talking, then you are muted. Hmm. Ryan, you are muted, so you
Yeah,
can.
sorry about that.
No
How's
worries.
it? Oops.
Yeah.
Let me see. This is working good. So again, thank you, Shasti, for the invitation and the I guess the introduction. A bit about myself. As mentioned, I do consider myself a serial social entrepreneur. So the main social enterprise that I run is Detailing Nights. So that provides mobile waterless car cleaning for people at their houses. And we run a youth entrepreneurship model out of it. So we teach students in high school or college, and even those out of school, and sometimes those coming out of detention, how to start their own businesses. But I'm also the co-founder of the Afro Caribbean Business Network. So we started about 6 years ago to support entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage their business is in, and then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And with starting ACBN, over the past 5 years, we've been able to engage with over 5,000 Black entrepreneurs. We have seen that about 71% of them are female entrepreneurs. And in our database is about 91% business owners or the founders and CEOs. But what I'm most proud of is actually being able to partner with over 40 other Black focused business organizations across Canada. So our reach has really expanded. And no matter what area of the country you're in or what stage your business is in, we're able to connect you to the right resources. And looking for capital, it's really important to know what stage you're in because different types of capital help at different stages. So we'll definitely talk a bit more about that as we go through. One thing that we definitely stand as one of our pillars is entrepreneurship, being able to encourage people to start their businesses, or if they already have a business, to be able to grow their companies and scale up so that they do leave an asset that is generational, having generational wealth in their family and in their community. So entrepreneurship is one of the best tools that we've seen to create economic empowerment. We love to bring together and share different resources and share our notes about things that we've experienced or things that we've found that can support your business. So that's why convening is really important, and being able to, whether it's in person at our networking events or coming to these sessions virtually, being able to meet with you and share what we've been able to put together. But of course, one of the key things that we focus on is that access to funding. So being able to support entrepreneurs, whether it's getting grants or investment or different types of loans, we've been able to start our own microloan program. So we can loan up to $10,000 for entrepreneurs, but tapping into all different types of capital. And we're here to talk about a few of them, especially with grants. But just before I go for it, always like to say thank you to different partners that we have in the community, ranging from Alterna Savings, which is the financial institution that helped us create our microloan program, SETC, Sheridan Edge, the Entrepreneurship Discovery and Growth Engine, the Toronto Community Benefits Network, who's been a supporter from day one. I'll shout out to their team. And Calabash as well, that is a cooperative of expert service providers in the Black community, so that if you're looking for work to be done to help grow your business or fine tune how it's operating, definitely check out Calabash. All right. So we like to put up this slide just to show you the breadth of funding that we've been able to acquire for our organizations and for our business, our social enterprise. And it ranges from as low as $500 all the way up to over $1 million, and different types of sources. So it can be pitch competitions that we've been part of, funding from the city, funding from the province, funding from the federal division of the province or the federal government, even corporations with sponsorships and donations, all different types of funding that we've been able to acquire. And now we're able to really share the process that it took to take advantage of it and share with how to access and do those applications. Yeah. But one thing that I am more proud of is actually being able to help others get access to funding. So if we go back just real quick, let me see. All right. So nonprofits like Rescue Youth International weren't able to really put a lot of time into looking for grants because they're doing such great work with the youth in the community, but now they were missing grants and funding that they did qualify for. So something like the Investment Readiness Program, we were able to work alongside them, make sure that they're able to structure the concept of a social enterprise and get funding for it. Custodia, which would be on the opposite side of the spectrum, a for-profit business, but they were operating as a social enterprise because they were supporting seniors in the community, making sure that they're able to stay longer in their homes by providing them services like landscaping and different yard work. They were able to qualify for the Investment Readiness Program as well. And then New Life Project that out in Ottawa, shout out to Brenda Williams out there, who again, busy doing the work, but not taking advantage of a lot of the grants that were available. We were able to show that the Supporting Black Communities grant was there, show them how to go through the process of applying, and they were able to access that grant, one of the biggest ones that they had gotten, really only because they didn't have the time to sit down and be writing the grant or researching what's out there. But also different ways that we support with getting funding, something like the Seventh Adventist Church that we worked with, where they were able to get FedDev funding, but us being a trustee allowed them to get access to the money. So a lot of times an organization might not be able to qualify without having an organization be the trustee for them. ACBN was able to do that for that church. And also Youth Village, where they were just starting out, wanting to get funding for their intergenerational youth mentorship program. And we were able to now, as ACBN, obtain a larger grant and then be able to carve out dollars for them to be able to get their program off the ground. So there's ways to get creative when seeing the types of grants that are out there, the types of funding. A lot of times it might not be just a straight line to apply and get approved, but there's ways to work with partners and collaborate so that you're able to get the funding that you need. So 2 ways that I know Empowered4X helps entrepreneurs and organizations get prepared. One is around the business planning. So if you don't have a strong business plan right now, I would say get in touch with the team so that we can help you with making sure that the business plan and the operations, the cash flow projections, that's all set so that you're operating well. But we're here more talking about the grants and the grant writing. So the grant writing blueprint is the tool that we use when we work with clients, because a lot of times we see all these grants and we get stuck. So when I was first getting grants, and this was for detailing nights back in 2016, but I was applying before that because we had this youth program. I knew that we were doing great work in the community. So we would see grants and say like, hey, we support youth that are, at risk. So they say we call them underestimated youth in our community. But every time we would apply, we would get declined until we were able to work with a grant writer so that they really fine-tuned the language that we were submitting, and also collaborated with another nonprofit so that the application was a lot stronger. That's when we were successful in getting our first, like one of the bigger grants. That one, we was 210,000. But now that we had that successful grant, that grant application and all the questions that it asked and all the answers that we gave became the blueprint. So what we do with clients is help you create that blueprint ahead of time to say, like, here are all the questions that you need to be aware of. Let's answer them now. That way, any grant that we find, you're about 80% done. We can get the grant submitted a lot faster and you don't feel stuck always starting from scratch. So the grant writing blueprint, if you don't have, I would say, a template of the answers about yourself, about your business, about your project, that's something that I would encourage you to start documenting. So any grant that you find, all of those answers, start to put them into a Google document or a Word document so you can start developing your grant blueprint. And also, if you need help with that, we're definitely here to walk you through the process. So one other resource that we like to make sure that you know about, that is the Business Benefits Finder. I did want to open it. Hold on. If I click it, but you won't see my screen. Are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing the computer? I mean, the website?
Yes, but it's the error 404.
Hold on. Let's see if this works. Here we go. So the Business Benefits Finder is an online tool that you can use to find federal grants. So you'd fill in the blanks. Actually, I can do it real quick. Let me see. So let's say you're looking for grants and funding. You just hit OK. If you're looking at, let's say, up to 250,000, I saw somebody in the chat needed about 150,000. So let's see all goals. Okay. And so if you're already selling, good. What about the project? So let's say it's educational. I'm gonna say digital. If you're doing research, we are in Alberta, Southern. Okay. And let's see, education. And also I'll put this link into the chat if you wanted to follow along. That's all right. It's gonna ask you number of employees, say it's 4, our annual revenue, 500. We are incorporated. We are, let's put the nonprofit for now. And we are owned by Canadians, Black Canadians, and persons with disabilities and youth under 40. And we want to see all the programs. So by answering those fill in the blank questions, now it'll take you to all the different resources that are available for your business. You can scroll down so you can see, let's see, the grants and funding section. They have different funding for finding research talent, finding ranked talent. If you employ reservists, let's see, grants for economic development. So these are ones that if your concept helps to build, like helps with economic development in the community, especially Southwestern, and I think there's Southeastern. I think we're in the Southeast if we're in Toronto. Southwest is like Windsor and stuff. Let's see what else they have. Incentives to purchase vehicles, to do funding, funding for nonprofits in York region, grants to cover employee training. So you can look through all the different types of grants. If you're open to different loans, you can see these ones as well. Let's see what else they have. Yeah, so depending on what type of capital you're open to getting, this gives you a good overview of what's available. There's another one that I like to use more called Happily.ai. Let me see if I'm typing that right. So this site, similar to what the federal government fill in the blank does, but this one allows you to get access to even more grants and funding that are outside of the federal government. So this is where I'll put this in the chat as well. So I would give this to you. Oh, wait, that's not right. But, is it giving me? I'll just type it. So happily.ai. So if you go to this website, I'll definitely give it to you for homework to create an account. It's actually a pretty quick process. So if anybody gets stuck, definitely let me know. But let me see if I can sign in. And I'll try and show you exactly what did I use for my account. I think it's this one. What it looks like on the inside. Oh, yes. All right. So I'll take you into the back end where if you go to the dashboard, oh, no, that is the dashboard. Go to opportunities. You're able to search by the different types of funding that you're looking for. So if you're looking for hiring grants, or if you're looking for training, if you're looking to see what competitions are out there, if you want to join an incubator or accelerator, if you're looking for different tax credits, loans, or the grants. So you'll see it shows you the total amount of available grants that are out there in the grand scheme of things that match with what your business is doing. But if we click off these and say that we only want to look at the grants, let's see which grants it's going to show us. All right, so it's showing us Talent Opportunities Program, Aboriginal Entrepreneurship Program. And what I like about it is that it grades how difficult they are to apply for. So if you see something, I know the TELUS one, this one actually is closed now, but this one, moderate, I would even say this one's pretty easy. It only asks you 5 questions. So it's pretty quick to apply for. But if you see some of the other ones, like the federal grants, that would take over 10 hours to fully write properly. This gives you an idea that, hey, brace yourself for a difficult grant, or this one's pretty simple. Like Summer Company is also a grant that I would encourage people to apply for, because a lot of youth that are in school can get grants to start businesses. So if you're under 30 and on a break from school, you can apply for Summer Company and get access to $3,000 to start a business. So at least you get a chance to test out if business is for you. So now this grant, again, I put the link into the chat, sign up, get an account, and then as you go through, you can see, okay, which ones are grants that I want to go after. So like the Digital Adoption Program, that's a grant that you can get $2,400 to support your online and digital marketing. So these are things that if you identify that you qualify for it, definitely, I think you can add it, yes, to your wallet. So now you have a list. That's where you can reach out to us and say, hey, Ryan, I found 5 grants that I want to go after. I need some support. Or if it's loans and different types of funding or these hiring incentives, same thing. Save them because you see that you qualify, and then you can get support to write them. But I would say go one by one. As soon as you get that first grant application in, again, you use that as a blueprint to apply for the others, and it gets easier as you every time you do it, it gets easier, and you can really fine tune the wording. And that's where it's really important to get feedback, even if you get declined, from the grantors or the funders to say, what could I work on to improve the application? Because the next time you apply, you want to make sure you're not just putting in the same thing where it'll get declined again. You're putting in a more refined and an improved application. So let's see. So I did want to show those two. Then let me go back to the presentation. All right. Somebody's in the waiting room. So some of the other grant, oh, this is good. I can just click on it. So the Black Opportunity Fund, they do have a funding program in partnership with CIBC and the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce. So CIBC created a loan program where you can get up to $250,000 as a loan for either equipment or operating capital or working capital. But if you needed support to, let's say, finish your business plan or finish your cash flow projections, you can now go through the grant program, which is delivered by the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce, so that you can get support to get certain things done. So if you need to increase your financial literacy or improve your credit score, if you need help with finishing your business plan or doing your cash flow projections, as you're going through that training, you get grants up to $2,000 as you hit milestones. So now what it was designed to do is get those things done, and then you can apply back to CIBC for up to the $250,000. But if you just wanted to go through the training and get access to the grants, you can just go directly through the program. So if you go to this website, elevateblackbusiness.ca, and I'll put this into the chat for you. Why do I feel like this is not copying correctly? Let me just type it.
Oh, I did it right.
Oh, thank you. So yes, elevateblackbusiness.ca, you'd be able to apply directly to the programs and then go through the training. And you have to ask them if it still works the same with getting the grants if you're not going for the loan, but I'm pretty sure it does. So you can qualify without having to apply for the loan first and then being directed to the Black Chamber of Commerce for their programs. All right. So I talked briefly about Digital Main Street, but I do want to pull it up because some good news that I've heard, one of their grant programs that was on pause is getting rebooted. So I'll take you through the different programs that they do have. The main one that I encourage most people to go through is the Shop Here program. Oh, let me see. So they have a few, but let me show you Shop Here first. So Shop Here is where if you want to add sales or e-commerce to your website, or if you want to build a website from scratch that has e-commerce already, similar to a Shopify store, you can sign up here and then they'll connect you with a service provider that walks you through. So they actually build the store for you and then teach you how to maintain the store. So if you're not selling online already, I'll definitely encourage you to use this service. Even if you are selling already and you want to improve the site or improve the Shopify store that you already have, I would still connect with them so that you get connected with somebody that can help you amplify what you're already currently doing. So let me go back now. So the other one that I briefly touched on was this. Oh, I don't know if this is still alive. So the 2,500 Digital Transformation Grant, it's showing here. So it might have been renewed as well. So let's see when we click on more information. So this grant, they do give you up to $2,500. It is a grant, so you don't have to pay it back. And it's to be used for digital marketing for your business. So if you wanted to do Google ads or Facebook ads, if you wanted to build a better website, you want to if you want to hire a professional to come in and help you with your marketing strategy and execution of the marketing strategy, you can definitely check out this grant program. But the other program that, oh, nice, you got your pop-ups, that's good. Keep me engaged. The RAISE program was one of the better grants that I had seen them come out with. And RAISE is the Racialized and Indigenous Support for Entrepreneurs. And you're able to get up to $10,000 to support with growing your business. Again, you would go through a bit of training before it was done through the Parkdale Innovation Center. So you go through the workshops, create a plan for what you're going to do with the 10,000, how you're going to spend it, and how it would increase your cash flow projections. So you'd fill out that spreadsheet, which is the digital marketing plan, and then you would apply for the $10,000. And then over the next year, you would execute that plan that you had created. So you go through a coaching program, you're able to apply for the 10,000, and below it does show what is eligible costs that you can go for. So you see, you can hire professionals like expert service providers. You can get marketing communications, like, so if you're even print or signage, you can get those. You can get help with digital transformation, to redoing your website or doing digital marketing. Some of the things they do show that are ineligible. So it can't be for just regular operating costs. They don't allow you to get computers or cell phones. You can't get land and buildings, and any costs like before the approval date. So these are things to definitely read through. I don't see on the site. So when you log in, it's supposed to show you a button that allows, oh, I'm not gonna have my login, hold on. I don't think I'll remember this one. Bah. All right, so when you log in, I'll put this link into the chat for you. Digital Main Street. That's CA. So again, check through to see if any of the grants match what you want to do for your business. And if they do and you get stuck, please let us know, and then we will walk you through the process. All right. So one of the other grants that, oh, I am not presenting, sorry. Yes, the BBPA Bates program. This is a grant that we typically give for homework because the application process is pretty straightforward. But what Bates does, it is allows you to get services done for your business and you don't have to come out of pocket. So if you wanted to get your business plan done, if you wanted to get your cash flow projections done, if you wanted to get help with registering, whether it's registering your incorporation or getting legal support, or if you just needed help with accounting and bookkeeping, you'd be able to apply for those services to get done for your business. So you get partnered with a service provider, they do the work for you, and then they invoice the BBPA directly, so you don't have to come out of pocket for any of the expenses. So this is where the application is pretty straightforward. Again, you're giving your contact info. You can only select one of the three. So it's either the business planning, cash flow projections, that's kind of one. Let me see if I can get the list here. So the service that you can choose, yeah, accounting and bookkeeping, business planning and budgeting, or legal services. So you pick one of those, and then they would get in contact with you to connect you with a service provider. I can definitely put this link in as well. You can go to, let's see, bates.bbpa.org. And all right, so again, this is your homework. So if you get this link, I want to see that this is done by tomorrow. So definitely check it out, and then we shall continue. All right. Hey, hey, what's going on?
I didn't want you to do that.
Yeah, do your thing.
Have to say, yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure it's not a call. I really don't want to.
Wait, come say hi.
There you go.
We have the people from Edge here in the building. Come say hi, Renee. Hold on. So say hi to Renee. We're just about to talk about Edge and let you know about the services they have here at Sheridan. So stay tuned for that. And since she's here, she can say hi.
Hi.
Thank you, thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, let me check. So that was the BBPA Bates program. So definitely that's your homework today to get that done. And let's see what else. Right, so I want to show you. Oh wait, I need to do it in here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the TELUS stand with owners, unfortunately, this one is closed, but I would sign up for their newsletter because they do this ongoing. So they used to have monthly prizes that they would give out. You can see here, if you meet the winners. If not, they do it at least once a year. I've seen that they do the stand with owners. So if you come to this site, and let me see if I can copy this one. Just so you can get onto their newsletter. Oh boy, my copy and paste is just broken. What is happening?
I'll do it, Ryan.
You want to grab it? Okay, thank you.
Because it's my screen you are controlling, so that's why.
Oh, right. So if you copy it now, do I have it? No?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you can see it.
In the link, in the chat box.
Thank you. And so we wanted to show you the Edge Sheridan.ca. I think that's right. No. So resources like this, and again, I'm here at Sheridan College in Edge because they just did their announcement. They're receiving $1.6 million from FedDev to amplify the work that they do for entrepreneurs. So if you are not plugged into Sheridan and the Edge program just yet, where Edge stands for the Entrepreneurship Discovery and Growth Engine, they do have co-working space here. They do have programming and membership and a lot of mentorship. So plug in. Shristi, if you can copy this link as well and put it into the chat, it'd be good for you to plug into what Sheridan is doing. And a lot of their programs are virtual as well. They'll do info sessions and events virtual. So even if you're not in Mississauga or in Peel, you can still plug into their programs. But if you are, definitely come in and check out the space so that you can get access to the workspaces. They do have their own form of funding. They've been able to do grant programs. So you want to plug into what they're doing so that you can know what's happening. And here, I would subscribe to their newsletter when you get a chance. So that'll be your second homework. First homework, signing up for the BBPA Bates program. Second, actually also homework, if you do want help with your website, signing up for the Digital Main Street Shop Here program, and then subscribing to this newsletter is on the list as well. All right, so I'll go back to the presentation. Let's see. So those were more supports for for-profit businesses. If you're running a social enterprise, which is, I was saying, that sweet spot between the nonprofit and the for-profit. So if you're running a business that generates revenue, but also has a positive impact in the community, and typically you're reinvesting a portion of those profits into the work that you're doing in the community, you would be running a social enterprise. And what's upcoming, so actually, let me back up a bit. So initially, they created the Social Finance Fund, which was about an $800 million pool of money to invest into social enterprises. What they found was that a lot of social enterprises weren't quite ready to out of the 800 million and created the Investment Readiness Program, which was designed to help nonprofits or for-profits fine tune the social enterprise that they're running so that they can then grow the social enterprise and get ready for investment through the social finance fund. Now, that phase of the grants is over. I haven't seen that it's going to be renewed just yet, but the next phase is the social finance fund, where they're going to be investing into social enterprises. So that's why it was important for us to create the Social Enterprise Development Challenge. So now we're going to be able to support those that want to grow their social enterprise, get access to investments by pretty much helping them build out a viable business. Like, the social enterprise must be a business that generates revenue and is somewhat profitable, because that's what the investors are going to be looking for if you want to get that additional investment. So stay tuned for that. And now to touch on some of the grants that are available for nonprofits, and 2 areas to keep an eye on. And definitely there's others like city grants and federal grants, but the 2 that tend to renew fairly quickly is the Ontario Trillium Foundation. So let me pull this one up. So I'll just hover over this one so you can get an idea. I believe the Resilient Communities Fund, that application is due soon. So if you are a nonprofit and you're looking for funding to help you kind of come out of COVID and become sustainable again, I would check out the Resilient Communities Fund. The Youth Opportunities Fund had just closed. Actually, let me see. I know there was the innovation, the family innovations, or the systems innovations might still be open, but these are grants that I would keep an eye on. It is the province, so the grant process is quite difficult, but the Youth Opportunities Fund was one of the first ones that I was able to get, and that was back in 2016 by working with a grant writer and also partnering with a nonprofit so that we could really fine tune and strengthen our application. So if you're looking at grants from the federal government, grants from the province, I would say look at collaboration. Even if you're a for-profit company, look at what other nonprofits have the same mission that you have, so that you'd be able to now apply together. And even if the for-profit is executing certain areas of the grant, they don't have to be the lead. The nonprofit can lead it, and things like the Youth Opportunities Fund. So what we did with Detailing Nights is we had the for-profit business and we were doing the community work, but then we would apply kind of as one unit. But what we eventually did was take that community work and kind of carve it out as its own grassroots initiative. And then that grassroots initiative was able to now apply for the funding and get approved. So sometimes we have to get creative. And I know you're running the business and doing the work, but the business doesn't qualify, but the work would qualify. So we have to structure the work that you do in the community so that you're able to go for the funding. And that's where, when we carved out that community portion, we were able to identify a nonprofit that had the same mission of helping youth in the community start their own businesses. So that's where we were able to combine efforts, apply for the funding, and we're successful. So things to keep in mind as you see different grants and funding. If you don't initially qualify, don't write it off. I would say, again, talk with some of our staff, some of our team, to see if there's creative ways that you can still access the funding through partnerships or collaborations as well. And the other piece that we had put here was the Ontario Grant Portal. That portal at any given time has 20 to 30 grants that are available. And I'll open it up real quick. But I know applying for this provincial funding can be tedious, and the way that they have their login system sometimes is just a headache, but we do need to push through the complexity and still apply as best as we can. So if you see in this list, and the slides will definitely be shared, so these links will be in the slide deck, but now you can see which of these initiatives what you already do might qualify for. So going in at it on your own might be difficult, but if it's something that you're already versed in, feel free to start the process and apply. But if it's something that maybe you're a for-profit, you work in the Aboriginal community, you can now partner with a nonprofit that's also working in that community and go after this fund together. So for the nonprofits, definitely keep your eye on any of these grants that fits in the work that you already do. And if you're a for-profit, if any of this matches with your mission, look at partnering with another nonprofit that has that mission as well. A lot of these grants, they're looking for that collaboration. So it really strengthens your application if you partner and create those collaborative kind of joint ventures for these applications. All right. Oops, let me get back to the present. And I know we're coming up close to time. I did want to leave time for questions, but I think this was the last section. Really just wanted to wrap up, let you know grants are not the only types of funding that's out there. And like I said, it really depends on what stage the business or the organization is in. Sometimes going after loans is a more viable option because the grant time frame sometimes is 3 to 6 months before you even get a decision if the grant was successful. And after that decision, it might be a negative decision. So you waited 6 months and it didn't come through. So relying on grants is not a great way, definitely not a great way to run a business. So if you need something very specific, whether it's equipment, inventory, or to amplify marketing, going after loans that are out there, even if they're the micro loans that you can use in the short term to now execute what you need for the business, that should help the business grow, increase your sales. So that increase in sales would cover the loan payments. And then later on, when those grant applications that you did apply for come through, now that's kind of gravy. That's like bonus for what you want to do to fine tune operations or do the community work, or even just grow what you're already doing. If it's Digital Main Street and those grants that they have, where you can now amplify like the digital marketing and the different ways that you want to promote the business, you can use those grants specifically for that. But the loans do have their place, and that's where having a conversation helps, because we can find out what is it exactly that you need the capital for, how much capital do you need, and then we'd be able to determine what funding option is the best, and we can go from there. And that's why the conversations are really important, because we do exist to see you win. There's different ways that you can engage with us, whether it's just the Grant Hunter online course, where we're teaching you how to do that grant blueprint that I talked about. It can go to, we just work with you to create a funding strategy or a funding summary, which now that we have our platform Happily that really outlines all the different grants and funding that's out there, I always say start there, see what is out there, what's available, what do you qualify for, and then have a conversation with us to say, is it overwhelming and you just need it taken off your plate? We can definitely do the grant writing for you. Or if you just need guidance and support with reviewing maybe an application that you've already created or identifying. And we have experience with a few of the grants that you might be doing for the first time. So we can give you kind of those tips to say like, hey, watch out for this, or review what you've written to make sure it matches what might have been successful before. So all that to say, we are definitely here to see you win, help you with your business and with getting this funding. It all depends on what support you need. So that always starts with a conversation. So definitely reach out to us. And first, sign up for Happily, go through and see what is out there for you, and that'll save you some money. So this one, unfortunately, this grant writing working group did pass. So we are going to select a new grant and do a working group for it. So every so often, usually once a month, we will pick one of the grants that are out there and then walk people through actually getting it done. So this was one that we had done for the TELUS grant. We do have the challenge coming up. So information about the challenge is going to come out. I believe it's later in October. I want to say the 26th, that week of the 26th. We are going to send information about that grant, the building up of the social enterprise, and being able to access. Sometimes we do have scholarships that are available. So usually it's $97 to get into our Facebook group and see the recordings. It's $297 for VIP to be able to come in an hour early talk with the presenters, ask questions specifically about what you're working on. But if that isn't, if you can't afford the 97 to 297, stay tuned to our emails as we do look for sponsorship and scholarships. So we definitely want to get you the information. If you're serious about growing your social enterprise, we want to help you get it done. All right, I believe, oh yes, this was the next page. So showing you the cost of coming to the challenge. This will be sent out for you as well. But Shristi, if the link is ready, you can put it into the chat. Otherwise, an email follow-up is gonna come for you. All right, and just quickly wrapping up, we actually started our clean tech, so that is closed. Yoga passed already. So don't worry about these upcoming events. We have to update the upcoming events for our November session. But if you're on our email, then we will definitely get you what's coming up. But for now, if you do want to book that initial conversation about your situation, what amount of capital you're looking for, we can have that conversation with you to see what would be the best type of funding, and then see if either us helping you get it done or just pointing you in the right direction is the best next step. So if you have your phones, you can scan the QR code to fill out the form, or Shristi, if you can grab that link and put it into the chat, you can fill it out and then we will follow up with you.
I'll drop it.
All right. So let me stop there and check if there's any questions. But again, thank you for taking the time to be here. I know, we're like close to 2. So my apologies for going right up against the hour. But if you do have questions, I'm here. So feel free to ask away. Otherwise, have a good rest of the afternoon. But yeah, was there any questions in the chat that I might have missed?
Yes. So how does one get a hold of you if they need to speak to you one-on-one?
Yes, 2 ways. One, you can book time in my calendar. I'll put that in the chat. Ellen, my gosh. Oh, where is it? So you can email connect@empowered4x.com, or you can book a time on my Calendly /ACBN.
And
My
is that a
slash.
service charge or no?
No, for initial conversation, there
Yeah.
is no charge. If you wanted to do a specific conversation about like funding and like researching what's available, there's a $25 charge for that conversation. But the initial
Okay.
one, there's no charge.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, was it let me check the chats. Let's see. I don't think I missed anything. All right. So yeah, if you do have a question, feel free to unmute or raise your hand. Oh, sorry, before I forget, there is another grant that is available for those that are under 30. And if you even know anybody that's under 30, I would definitely tell them about this grant where you can get up to $5,000 from, what does this stand for? I think it's Tomorrow. Where was it? Oh, Tomorrow's Leaders Starting Out. So this program, you're able to get $5,000 for a community project. Before it showed what types of projects it had to be. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, and let me put this in the chat. Just before you go, grab this link, spread the word. Let the people that you know about this one, because they have 250 spots, but it's national, so it's across Canada. So I'm quite confident it's going to fill up quickly. So anybody that you know that's under 30 has an idea for a community project, let them know about this grant. They can get up to $5,000 for that grant. I want to see if I find, because they say what the projects are supposed to be. Oh, here it is. So the project should focus on building an inclusive Canada, preserving the environment through education and activities, or promoting civic and demographic engagement, or strengthening youth resilience through culturally training themed programming and connecting with youth of all backgrounds nationwide. They're quite broad and general. It would be good to follow up with them. So sending an email, if you had questions about a project that you're working on, I would send them an email just to clarify if it would fit with their priorities, and yeah, get access to the money. All right. Again, thank you everyone. Have a great rest of the afternoon, and we shall either see you next week or next month, or if you book time to chat, I'll be talking with you very shortly. But thanks, Christy. We shall talk soon.
Thank you.